Good morning. It's Island Tea. I am your host, Azard Gumbs, and with me is
Good morning, everyone. This is Candisie. How's
yes.
everyone doing today?
Hoping that everyone is having a wonderful morning. We apologize for the late start. We had some news that needed to be played, and so we know that you are waiting and wondering about the tea this morning. But we have the tea for you, and so Island Tea, WINNFM's program, hosted by myself, Candy, and assisted by Jamster. It's right here this morning.
Just boiling and steeping.
Yes. So I think what has come to the media is the fact that the island explorer. We've seen a lot of videos in circulation about the
The
Explorer
Explorers
Club.
Club.
Yes, the
It's kind of
Explorers
like
Club.
a Boy Scouts type of thing.
Yeah, and I guess it was something that was done to help curb criminal activity and to ensure that the young people at a tender age they were
Molded.
yes, and so we don't have all the information as to what is occurring as it relates to that club. We are hearing though that the club might be um,
Done with.
yes, for lack of a
I
better.
remember when it came out, and
Mhm.
I thought it was a pretty effective way to
Uh-huh.
deal with at-risk youths, especially. And I think I remember the police that was in charge of it. I think his name was Lofter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing the bus go wrong. I think they would pick them up. I even had like a staff member that would send her son.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of the last, I guess, programs that I've heard of. They were teaching them how to iron and prepare like their uniforms and just do like general household chores that I guess everybody should know.
Yes.
So I was kind of shocked and disappointed when I heard that it might be over and done with.
Yeah, and
But I'm still not sure what
And
exactly took place.
we're hearing reports of officers that would have been involved in the program, and there being a change of locks on the doors,
Right.
and that they go into the club and not
Being able to get in.
not being able to get in. And I heard a clip because it's being circulated on the social media by an inspector who is involved in the program. I think Inspector Els, I think that's what the inspector's name is. And she said that she approached the school and, well, I'm calling it a school now because, the school is held there as well.
So
she
after
approached
there was that fire,
she
they
approached the
transferred
building,
school.
and when she was there, it's like everyone knew that the locks were changed
Except her?
and
Oh,
so
boy.
the embarrassment, that is what she expressed. There was another officer, a young man who had in his a video as well explaining talking about the issue and talking about this. They would he along with other officers would have put a lot of work into the program.
Right.
They would have sacrificed family life. They would sacrifice a lot of quality time at home, and to see that the program seemingly is coming to an end just like that. I don't know the reason. I don't know what really is the issue as it relates to the program. All we are seeing, we're hearing by the accounts of those who are involved and for the program. We're seeing and hearing we're hearing by the circulation of clips on the social media and also on the WhatsApp about what is happening, but we have not heard from an official statement from the authorities as to what the program is, what is going on with the program.
I find it a little bit crazy that based on what the officer was saying in her voice note, the reason why the school was there is because the school had suffered a fire.
Yeah.
And we all know when that fire occurred. And so it was like a temporary spot for them to hold until, a new school was erected.
Yes.
So in my thoughts are, if I am giving you, if I am lending you my building or allowing you access to my building, why would you change the locks and not give me a key or at least alert me? You know, so I am actually quite curious about this. If there's anybody out there listening that can shed some light on this issue, please feel free to call in.
Which would, on that point, would make me think that, you know, some sort of higher authority would have been involved in the changing, because it had to have come from a higher source to authorize that changing. And so it seems like the persons who are involved in the day-to-day activities of the club, there is no meeting of the mind between those persons day-to-day running of the club and those who are perhaps in a higher capacity who could make greater decisions.
Good point. Interesting. The saga continues.
Yeah.
I am just hoping that the children who benefited from the club while it was in existence, or persons who were interested in actually joining, are not, you know, the ones suffering because of this adult issue.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the purpose for the club was to mold young persons. And so I'm hoping that they get their
especially when we look at
and politics and God knows what else is involved, sorted out so that the children don't suffer.
Especially when we look at the fact that crime and violence has escalated. It is something that has touched the Caribbean, has touched St. Kitts and Nevis, has touched the world. And we need programs such as these to try to curtail the instances of violence, because it's too much. We have so many distractions out there. A club like this, once functioning well and meeting its mandate, would help to assist to reduce the number of criminal activities.
Yeah, especially when we think about that same youth violence. Remember, we were discussing that with Vernon yesterday, and Antigua is all over the place, batting their heads, you know, trying to figure out a way to curb it, and we have something that actually worked. I know there was graduations and all sorts of different activities the club held for persons who would have passed through the club. And so from the best of my knowledge, memory, the club was well functioning and doing its job.
And I think too that what we need to focus on is the young people, and especially those persons under the age of 12, because we realize that at an early age, who you are develops, who your mindset already develops, and you are able to see certain traits within an individual at a very young age. And if it is that those traits continue to develop and those traits aren't for the best of society, then you could only imagine when that individual reaches teenage age and adulthood, the impact that that individual will have on society.
That's true. You better start molding them now.
And then we'll take a short break and we'll get back to you.
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are dangerous. This is not the time for sightseeing. You could be in personal danger and your presence could hamper emergency responses. Also, stay away from areas prone to landslides, low-lying coastal areas, lakes and streams that lead to the ocean. Do not head for the coast until local authorities tell you that the danger of a tsunami has passed. Curiosity can kill.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WINNFM.
You think you could pull up next to me in any Nissan, Mazda or Toyota? Boy, please, I need a Honda man.
Give your car some TLC with CNC Auto Services Limited, located on the Bay Road by Steer. We're your local agents for genuine Honda parts. Plus, we've got some sweet deals happening right now on suspension and brake parts, ignition coils, coolants, oils, and filters, with tires priced at $188. We've also got car batteries at the crazy low price of $345. So don't wait until your car is in dire need. Stop at CNC Auto Services and Honda today. Telephone 465-9317. For some speedy service and some unbeatable prices, your ride will thank you.
Say check out how we rolling, rolling, rolling. Say check out how we rolling. Say check out how we rolling, rolling, rolling. She said she want a man.
Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
CIBC First Caribbean would like to reassure you that we continue to be open for business and thank our loyal clients and staff for staying by our side. Our increased commitment to innovation has made us the best digital bank in the Caribbean with our convenient and secure digital banking service. As we remain open in St. Kitts, know that we are backed by a strong and supportive regional and international network. We are CIBC First Caribbean, and we are here to stay.
And we are back.
We are back, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not dead, folks. I'm here.
Yeah.
Not that they care, but.
We introduced you when we
I
started.
don't mean you, the listeners. Not that the listeners care.
They know you're here. We introduced you when we started. You're terrible.
No. I'm just doing the thing that Tony used to do. Tony used to do this thing where she's talking, right? And she said, "Oh, I'm sure the 11 listeners."
Oh my!
Of course, which was a terrible self put down because that was like so far from the truth, right?
Yeah,
Good
but
morning, Tony. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yes. You guys, last week I think we were talking about how great it was that Antigua and Barbuda was able to have such a creative idea and to have, a whole ambassador, two cultural ambassadors.
Who's the other one?
It was Don Lewis. Remember, Azard and I were Googling to find out some of her movies. And Angela Bassett.
Yes. So, and we were saying,
that's Dawn with two N's, right? D-A-W-N-N. Yeah, because when you said an actress, I know there's an actress. Yeah. D-A-W-N-N. Yeah, okay.
Yes, I think it's double N.
Right. So what we were saying, we were so excited and we were saying, wow, what a bold
I was jealous. I was like, why can't St. Kitts do that?
And then just, a couple of days after, you see this breaking news. Angela Bassett's lawyers demand Antigua government cease using her name and image for tourism ambassador role.
That was short-lived.
It goes on to say, attorneys at law at Fox Rothschild LLP representing Angela Bassett has advised the government of Antigua and Barbuda to immediately stop using the actor's name and image in connection with the tourism board's marketing or promotional efforts. This comes after the government of Antigua announced last week that Bassett would become the country's newest tourism ambassador, despite no formal arrangements being made. In a letter dated 10th May 2023, the lawyers requested discussions with the tourism board regarding the duties, responsibilities, time frame, and approvals required of Bassett for the ambassadorship position. They also accused the Department of Tourism of using Bassett's photos for commercial purposes without prior approval.
Hold on. What do you mean? Hold on. Let's back up a bit here. Are you saying that they just took the photos and used the name willy-nilly? That doesn't make sense. No due diligence, no permission.
Again, the letter demanded that the tourism board stop using Bassett's name, image, and biographical information in association with the tourism ambassador designation under a mutual agreement reflecting Bassett's until a mutual agreement reflecting Bassett's acceptance of the position and outlining her obligations and protections is reached. The Department of Tourism has until the 15th of May 2023 to acknowledge receipt of the correspondence and confirm that all uses of Bassett's name and image have been removed by the tourism board or its licensees.
The only thing I could see is that it's probably a situation where maybe they had preliminary discussions and maybe the Antiguans went ahead and...
Preliminary discussions with
who?
Who? Her son?
Because...
the one that pulled the prank a couple months ago? Because...
they said that...
I don't know about
apparently,
that.
based on the press release, it is saying
No,
that
because
there's
I'm just trying to make sense of
no formal
you know.
arrangements being made. No,
They can't be that crazy.
They requested discussions. So the letters requested discussions with the tourism board regarding duties, responsibilities, framework, and approval required of Bassett for the ambassadorship position. So
But
it
I
mean-
know
so
when they announced that she was in Antigua that same week because it was like Antigua sailing week or something like that. So what in God's name is happening here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was latching on the fact that he said without formal. So
But
I was saying,
they're also requesting discussions. They're
So,
requesting
exactly.
discussions relating to the duties, responsibilities, and the time frame. Which, if you're requesting discussions now, to me it is an indication of they might not have had any discussions
all.
before. And if you look at Loop News,
so how could they just get
And
it?
just promote it because it was on Loop News. It was on. This is madness to the highest.
I
Because
know.
how can
I
you be
know-
that reckless?
I know
knowing
Jamster is
how-
going to kill me,
What did
but
you do?
I have this thing here. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna say this isn't how it's done. But
Let's hear. Oh, that was that's the guy for tourism in Antigua.
yes,
Spur of the moment invitation as well as acceptance by both Bassett and Lewis. The Prime Minister is seated at the table. He's the only one under the Constitution, Section 101, to name ambassadors. And what he did, as you well know, was, while seated at table, offered them to be ambassadors, cultural ambassadors of Antigua and Barbuda. There really is no such specific title in the Constitution. It just speaks of ambassadors. But we have added the word cultural ambassadors. So we anticipate that they will help in moving Antigua and Barbuda forward. They love this little place, and they love the people of Antigua and Barbuda. So it all happened right there at the table. And your reporter was present, and so on. So, you know, this is not any kind of formal arrangement which we might make with citizens of other countries who sell us on the idea that they can help to promote Antigua and Barbuda. We are aware that Angela Bassett and Miss Lewis could indeed help to promote Antigua and Barbuda without having to do any checks and so on in advance. So that's what happens. And that is how government works best, by the way. You know, it's just sometimes these decisions that are quickly set upon and agreed to within a short period of time that allows the applause to take place.
Works best.
so you see there.
Spur of the moment.
That was
Works best.
That was almost Trump-esque.
Right?
And that is coming from, I think, yesterday's post-cabinet media briefing, the chief of staff at the Prime Minister's office.
What in? Listen, that's how government works best.
But
Spur of the moment ideas.
but-
Is he listening to himself?
But you realize it's a rhetorical bobbing and weaving and dissembling. Like
What I also noticed is that he kind of excluded himself. He said,
that
this is
too.
the Prime Minister. He's the only person that has the authority on the section, whatever, to appoint ambassadors. And he was at the table with them. So here guys, it's not me, it's Gaston. And this is what he did.
nice dodge.
You know, right?
And what he has done too, he's mentioning the Constitution,
I know.
which gives the Prime Minister the power to appoint ambassadors, the ambassadors that we know of that travel and represent the countries that, you know.
But then on the next hand, in the next sentence,
he says, we're just going to add cultural to them.
there's no such term that usually exists.
Yes. So, you think of the typical ambassador that serves the country and everything like that. It appears that he gave them the designation using that authority and add on culture at the end of it.
Gaston strikes again.
And
What next?
But
What
is
next?
the confidence that the chief of staff is presenting, and he's doing it with a smile. He's saying, these kind of
The guy is
arrangements.
like in his head, like, what in the world are they making me say here? Yesterday, just before we left yesterday, there was a clip with Gaston walking to go vote for Speaker of the House and blowing kisses to the opposition. He did like this little struts, and then he blew them some kisses, and then he went and he cast his vote and strut back to his seat. And in my head, right, I'm just looking at this man, and I'm like, Gaston is a psycho.
Gangston.
He is just
Gangston
so
Brown.
confident that it's hard to even shake him when he's doing nonsense.
I can have a Hitler-esque
he already has
mustache
that
and get away with it.
So I know,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
First, it was the African Airlines. Then we're still fighting with the Cameroonians going back.
Yes.
Now it's Angela
boy.
Bassett. What is it gonna be tomorrow?
You remember there was, I don't know if you guys, I think it might have been 2 years ago. It was a misunderstanding though. But apparently he must have went beach or something, and he had to go and meet like a constituent or something.
Oh, you mean with the change of clothes?
The changing clothes.
Wait, no. I totally missed that one.
People were saying,
Jesus.
people
So
were
he went to
accusing
the
him.
beach.
Something about he went to the beach, but he had to go do something. So I think he must be popping by a constituent to change his clothes or something.
Lord. What?
I think he was changing his pants on the street or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah. And you hear somebody, Antiguan talk, hear somebody in the background. Gaston can't serious.
And I can assure you, he would have just found a very interesting way to play that off.
This man
is
the things he do as the head of the government. I mean, if it was here, it's like it's a Nevis.
I know. But even the talk radio. I mean, sometimes you guys get all skittish about stuff. You guys ever heard Antiguan talk radio?
No.
It's like a verbal brawl from beginning to end. All of that.
So maybe that's the culture there.
Follow the leader.
And Jamaica too. I've heard.
Follow the leader.
Listen, there were two guys of a talk show interviewed Douglas during, I think it was the 2015 elections. Oh my God! It was like two Rottweilers just tossing him from one to the other.
Jamaican radio host interviewing Denzel Douglas,
Yeah.
PM, former PM.
And it was not pretty because those guys are bullish, and those guys are not. I don't even call it respectful because asking people hard questions doesn't mean you don't respect them. The questions,
somebody gotta ask them.
Yeah, the questions are decided by the things you do and don't do, right? Your actions and your deeds, and your inactions and, let's say, non-deeds or whatever.
Wow.
Are things you say, or things you don't say. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So,
the madness continues.
Yeah. So yesterday we had the round table discussion involving the Prime Minister, and he would have, there was a question by one of the panelists. I know that the issue as it relates to the housing has been quite in the news. You can't go on any radio station, any show without this being aired, the views being aired,
up,
it being brought up. And I have here a clip of a question being asked to the Prime Minister as it relates to the houses. So just so persons could hear his response to it. I know Jams is going to kill me again.
You come back with this
you
stuff?
definitely getting buried this morning. That's twice now.
Yes. So
do you need a lawyer?
I know.
Davis, Azard Broadcasting Corporation. You mentioned the housing and the construction of the 2,400 homes over the next 6 years, I believe. But there have been some questions in the public arena about the specifics of the housing. An address was made, and it was explained that there are going to be 3 types of homes: 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. But there are still some questions about the size, the square footage, and the land that the homes would be on. So could you give us some more information about the square footage? And also, what can you tell us about the company itself, East Coast Housing Development, that is going to be responsible for building these homes from Trinidad and Tobago?
Right. Let me first of all say that part of our commitment to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis is that we will build houses. Houses in the number, we said will be at least 2,000 houses. And the reason why we are pursuing this, as I said before, for the number of reasons. One, people need housing. Two, it gives you a chance to build wealth. And three, it gives you a real stake in your country. And so this is built on these principles, which are principles that we have always had, especially in the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. We think it's time for a new housing revolution. We had one before, and we are going to pursue it because we want the country now to advance to the next level. So we'll have different pathways of which persons will be able to own homes. And so this is a particular type of development, and I understand that the Minister of Housing would have spoken to it, where your East Coast has come as a development partner to invest their money. They have their means and mechanisms of financing. And so they are coming into our country to pursue our housing development project. They have met with NHC and are partnering with NHC. East Coast is from Trinidad and Tobago, one of our CARICOM members. And we have had companies from Trinidad and Tobago who would have invested in St. Kitts over the years. If you think about it, you will know. But what we want to say here is that this gives the opportunity for a larger number of houses. But in the contract, we put some stuff specifically that we thought were important. One, that the workers, over 90% of them must be from St. Kitts Nevis. And I had been writing on my Facebook for months that our contractors are needed, that when we start the housing revolution and we start to pursue these large number of houses, that our people are the one who must build them. Nobody is going to come into St. Kitts and Nevis building houses for our people. And our people are not the contractors. Our people must be the contractors, the painters, the roofers, the carpenters, the masons, the heavy equipment operators, and whoever else, the steel benders, if you need that, whoever else will be involved in the construction of these homes. Clear. And also in there is a provision for quality. We have said we want quality that you, of course, have put forward that you can provide. But as an assurance, we have to make sure, quality assurance, just like you, if you go and hire somebody to do something, the person tell you, yes, I'm good and so forth, you have quality assurance in there, because if you're not delivering what I expect of a certain quality, then that would affect the relationship. And so we have that inbuilt as well. So those are two things that I want to get clear, because I'm hearing talk about our local people not getting jobs. When I've been saying that for months, when it's specified in the contract as well, that our people must be the ones to build them. That is important to us, because part of this is to provide jobs for years. We want our people to be working, to be productive. And that is why we are pursuing it. East Coast is a company registered out of Trinidad and Tobago, duly registered and so forth. And we have not seen any reason to think that is not a legitimate company. However, we built our safeguards still in the contract that we signed. These houses, I don't want to reveal everything as yet, because NHC is to have a housing fair. A housing fair, just like how we had a land fair. Today, when I finish speak, NHC is going to launch its website and online application. And so I want to give people some anticipation into what they can expect. To see the model homes and to see the floor plans and to see the 3D depictions of these homes. And so I would leave some of that for NHC. But I would say that these homes will fulfill some of our development agenda, such as one, sustainability. But we'll also look at, can we provide them with solar energy? Already we have approached a company through the Afrexim Bank. Can you provide solar energy in houses? And the same company can also do it, but we're looking at other options. And they have sent their proposal. Because we are serious. I want St. Kitts to become the first country in the Caribbean to go 100% renewable energy. We are going to pursue it vigorously, just as I'm pursuing vigorously healthcare, to make St. Kitts and Nevis the hub for healthcare in this sub-region. So we want that because that is sustainable. Sustainability is sustainable, and it's renewable energy to get off the fossil fuel. And it will cut people electricity costs down. Can you imagine if you ain't getting an electricity bill? And if your solar panels produce enough, we are looking at the possibility of selling some of that to Skelec. So you can get a little rebate at the end of the month. But we are pursuing that with this as well. We want you to have water, has to be an issue. So that you build a house so that you can have a tank and store water when rain falls. That water you can use for different things, and that can take some stress off the water system that we have. We are going through a drought, which I'll speak to as well, as to what our response would be to the drought. So if I don't bring it up, remember to ask me about that. I need to give a response on how we are going to deal with the drought, especially for farmers. We are looking at energy efficient refrigerator, energy efficient gas stove. We are looking at creating situations where we are fulfilling our SDGs in providing homes, good homes at reasonable cost that can be energy sufficient, that can be water harvesting equipped, and can give people the opportunity to own some amenities within those homes. So this is what we are pursuing. But I want to say it again, it's our people going to build. I remember during the campaign, I was driving through St. Peter's and came through an area of St. Peter's.
Okay, so that was a little snippet. We're going to take a short break and then we'll discuss what the Prime Minister had to say on the issue.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
CIBC First Caribbean would like to reassure you that we continue to be open for business and thank our loyal clients and staff for staying by our side. Our increased commitment to innovation has made us the best digital bank in the Caribbean with our convenient and secure digital banking service. As we remain open in St. Kitts, know that we are backed by a strong and supportive regional and international network. We are CIBC First Caribbean, and we are here to stay.
This is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Horses Building Center for the month of May. George Foreman Grill was $206.18, now only $154.63. Sharpshooter Stapler Gun was $68.04, now $57.83. Paint and pesticide respirator was $206.18, now only $154.63. 36-inch oscillating 3-speed fan was $516.19. Get it now for $438.76. Smoke alarm was $81.17, now just $68.99. Super handy Andy deals at Horsforth Building Center for the month of May, making home improvement easy.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere.
How do I prepare a disaster plan? Step 1. Learn as much as you can. The first step is research. Do not wait until a disaster is coming to find important information. This step is incredibly important for your plan. Here are some things you should find out. What hazards are you exposed to? Do you live near the ocean or any rivers? Are you near to a volcano? The type of hazard you're exposed to will determine the way you prepare yourself. Find out about disaster plans at your child's school and at your workplace. Are there persons with disabilities in your family? Do you know how to help them? What about your pets? Do you have a plan for them? For more information, visit nima.kn or log on to Nima SKN on Facebook.
Everybody beware, you better prepare. Disaster can happen anytime, anywhere. Everybody.
Island tea and some Destra energy.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the discussion at hand. It's 12 minutes until 9 o'clock, and of course we have Fireproof coming up later on.
Yes. So do we have any callers? The phone lines.
As usual, they were calling during the commercial break.
Okay. So. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure they'll call us.
So we.
Quite an interesting line.
Yeah. Fairly quiet. You usually call. Yes.
Okay, so call us. Give us your calls.
Do you want to deal with this, or do you want to go back to that?
So while we await, we had some comments by the Prime Minister on the issue, but
we have a first call.
Okay, we have a caller. Caller, you go on.
Island Tea, go right ahead.
Good morning, good moderators.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Now remember the
I'm
time.
good, man. I ain't gonna tea it. What tea you got?
Remember we have the time rule, because remember we had that really meta set of calls yesterday about calls. So yeah. So,
you could send me tea. You could send me tea in a paper bag.
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
We'll have the Island Tea logo on it, all brandish.
Right.
All
Well, you got to be Island tea. It can't be continent tea.
English breakfast.
Yes.
I was just listening the little songboy clip that you had played out with the round table conference with the Prime Minister.
Yes.
But me, radical culture, I will not believe nothing he said. And my reason for that, out on the campaign trail before election, he had a lot of talking about transparency, and they don't. The farmer government do not have any transparency in there, and why they hiding public information? Well, he gone in there and he do worse than that, because up to now, the first 100 days, why he did not up to now he didn't say how many passports he signed off on. Up to now, so is there any transparency there coming from him? And he said that he's not going to victimize nobody. And the amount of persons he don't send home, and they ain't do nothing wrong on the job, all because they're not weighing away than backing him. What is that? That is that not victimization? And then he was talking about the former administration take back 1 or 2 persons who done over pension age to work, and they call them old. What he gonna hear now? Old is when you can't move. He take back the same thing. Look at people who are already getting the pension from government administration, and they're getting the social security, and he take them back and give them big position. So what money they're getting from the government, that coming out of the treasury, taxpayers' money, and there will be no social security coming out of that kind of money for those people who get in that kind of pay. So I don't believe nothing that the Prime Minister said. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And to me, when you ask him a question, he talks fast, blah, 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 and he done, and he move on. His lie he telling, lie. He was than Dr. Douglas. I thought Dr. Douglas used to tell lie, but Dr. Douglas is a Christian to he. That's all I got to say, gentlemen and ladies. Have a good day.
Okay.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
But I mean, really and truly, I get the impression, I could be wrong, I get the impression, okay, let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Hello, caller, go right ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, Jamston,
Oh, hi.
Azard,
What's up?
and
Try and keep
Candisie.
it brief, yeah.
Yes. Yesterday, I acknowledge and I respect the comments of many others who have called in about the duration of time one would have to speak on. But given the fact that Mr. McMahon and Mrs. Henry, they probably would have alluded to, even though they probably refer to Mr. McMahon's contribution. But you have to remember that they bring a lot. And rightly so, I agree that there will be times when you, Mr. Azard, and Candice might be absent, where Mr. McMahon or Mrs. Henry can come and fill the void on some days, like Mr. Snyman Warner has done. I heard his voice the other day. I thought he was in the studio. I'm not too sure. Because of their statute, yes, people are looking forward for conversation on a certain level. And then we, the ordinary folks, can call in and weigh in on the topics at hand.
Okay, we have a
And
call
whereas
pending,
they can
so
lend their
wrap up
expertise
fast.
towards the conversation.
Okay.
I thought I would just bring it to the fore. And Mr.
Okay.
McMahon and Mrs. Henry, don't be afraid to call in, because today it's a little bit quiet, and you have a lot to contribute to bring to the fore, and we welcome your contribution. Albeit it should be done in modesty in terms of the duration of time. That's my piece on that. for now.
Thank you for your contribution.
And he proceeds to take up all the time, and the person hangs up. But anyway, I digress.
Yes.
So, yeah, go ahead.
When I was listening to the clip, one of the things I noticed is that we still don't know what the design is.
Yeah, or the size, because the one of the questions that he didn't answer
And the
was
morphology of
And
the,
where.
of the units. Are we going to have high rises?
But he was talking about the square footage of the bedrooms, I think. The question was, he didn't touch that. He said that NHC would have some sort of website which would speak to that in the afternoon. But have you seen the website? We have a caller?
Yeah.
Okay, caller, let's
caller,
go.
go ahead.
Good morning, Mr.
And,
Gumbs.
okay,
Good
and
morning.
please, there's another caller right behind you, so please be brief.
Okay, I'm going to make it fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What I want to say here, right? Everybody complaining about these houses. They said they're going to do better. And I think that these houses, they could have go back to the drawing board and work out something, because if you're going to charge somebody $1,000 a month for mortgage, when they miss 1 month, how are they going to catch up with the next month? Drop it cheaper and affordable, even though you have to dead and God and be chewing them, because we pay till we dead. But the cost of living, the food prices so high, how are they going to meet this need every month? They need to go back and sort it out, because I don't know, better is better. And let me know, tell them, people change election and election change people. And I see some of them hire in people all up Ellen Bauer them just backing up the place. He needs to go home and let look how much young people rally behind Labour could do the job. He don't clear social and this. You go home and let some younger person take up that space. They're just backing up the police, lock the traffic. That's all I got to say, and I have a blessed day here, and I'm begging people. I'll go back and help poor people struggling. Cost of living is too high.
Okay, I have a
Take
call.
up $1,000 to go thing. All right, thank you. I'll listen.
Okay, caller, go right ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jamster.
Hey, what's up?
And good morning, Azard.
Good morning.
Well, good
And
morning,
good morning
to you
to the
too.
young lady there.
Thank you.
Nice, inspiring program.
Thank you.
When I get a time to listen, I listen. We're home right now, and going to look for the animals in my bed.
This is politics.
No. Hello.
Politics.
Say something?
No, I'm saying this is Mr. Politics.
Yes, Mr. Politics there, the one and only.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I started work from 1984. And I used to follow politics under Mr. Butcher, government, Labour, and come up to Dr. Kennedy Simmons, and come back up to Dr. Douglas when he won the election in 1995. And I learned the politics very good. And I see the politics is a very deceitful thing, especially to our people who are ignorant and don't want to learn it. But I learn the politics, and I know what the politics is all about. That's why sometimes I keep quiet and forget about the ignorant and the tribal politics, because he ain't getting us anywhere. The politicians them talk one thing when they in opposition, and when they get in, it's a different story. You understand? So as I say, any government get in power, I will like to see them do good. And as far as I'm concerned, the unity administration was doing good. And whatever failed them with whatever. And they got to go back to the poll. And the Labour government almost win all 8 seats, I must say. I believe that in this country of us, if we don't take stock about, and these politicians when they're campaigning and tell us whatever they're going to perform and whatever they're going to do when they get in here, if we don't take stock and listen to them good, we're going to always be in this problem. Anyway, wonderful program, and you all is doing well educating the nation and educating Kittishan and all in the diaspora. You all have a good day. God bless.
Thank you. Same to
Thank you.
Guys, I've just seen something not too long ago, and it's about the houses again. I don't know how true it is or not, but it's saying that, one of the materials that the houses will be built with, whatever type of cement, fiber cement. I still have to do my research, but it's saying that it could be potentially cancerous. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Yes, so that's another something else that is
I don't even wanna
circulated.
think about that because it's like every 2 minutes something is cancerous. Because remember, first it was tomatoes, and then it was ham, canned ham, and I gave up. But I am anxiously awaiting the rollout and the launch or the education campaign by the NHC, because this has been a thorn in everyone's side for the last few days. And I'm just waiting for it to wrap up and we can move on to something else.
But before we think, there's a statement made by the police force. We were talking about the Explorers Club, and it says here, a statement on the continuity of community engagement initiatives. So it says, Royal St. Kitts and Nevis Police Force is aware of ludicrous allegation circulating concerning the status of the Explorer Club. The force staunchly refutes the absurdity and decries the malicious mind responsible for crafting such nonsense. So it says that the force has most recently launched an overarching organization. I'm trying to make it different, bigger. Perhaps maybe you could see better than me here.
The force has most recently launched an overarching organization improvement strategy. The plan is aimed at elevating the standard of policing nationwide. To this end, citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis will readily observe positive changes in the types and styles of the force's community policing operations in the coming months. One such new community policing initiative that has been in progress for approximately 2 weeks is the distribution of brochures at traffic stops and vehicle checkpoints. The brochures are printed with vital general safety and traffic tips from which everyone can benefit. Thus far, the initiative has been exceptionally well received by the public and hailed as a welcome change in police-civilian relations. What? Aren't we talking about the Explorers Club? Under the leadership of the Commissioner of Police, James Sutton, community policing and engagement is receiving keen attention as its status is pivotal to the overall success of the force's operations. In order to strengthen law enforcement operations and improve community policing and engagement, all areas of society must be adequately attended to. And we get back. The Explorers Club is a crucial aspect of community policing and engagement as it caters to our youth. By its very definition, the continued function of the club is a given. The police force is discouraging the public from engaging in the creation and dissemination of blatant malarkey. Wow, haven't heard that word in a while. Joe Biden, huh?
Yeah, Joe Biden, yeah.
Such false sentiments are intended to manipulate negative reactions from the general public. Persons should remember that free speech brings in a toll of personal, professional, and a legal responsibility. for the actions engendered by carelessly typed or spoken words. For this reason, the force continues to encourage persons to seek legal and healthy outlets via which they can resolve conflicts and free themselves of life's occasional frustrations.
Okay.
Okay, that
Okay.
message is
Yeah,
heavy
and the
laden
message.
and mixed
Okay,
with
guys.
all sorts of.
We're gonna have to get back to that.
We're going to take a short break and
Yeah.
get back.
Okay, so
I was thinking when you all were talking about it.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Make Mother's Day sparkle with meaningful gifts from Pandora Jewelry. Celebrate your mom, grandma, friend, or sister with the perfect gift for everyone who loves like a mom. Shop Pandora Jewelry today.
Noble Jewelers, Port Sante, across from Rams Smoke and Booze. Call 466-2849.
Supermarket shoppers understand that convenience matters. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Ample parking and the widest variety matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, we know that price matters most. Clean, spacious aisles and the highest level of customer service all matter. At Hortsport's Value Mart IGA, price matters most. We've renewed our commitment to guarantee the lowest prices in the Federation. Why? Because we understand that in this tough economic environment, price matters most. Shop smart. Shop Value Mart, where price matters most. Farms Estate Nevis and Wellington Road, St. Kitts.
Price matters most.
it's 9:04. We've got Carla Estevan. Nice you could join us, Carla. And we'll be talking reparations and all the machinations associated with that quixotic quest.
So, guys, we just read the article issued by the police in relation to the what has been going on. So, he says that the Explorer Corps is still in continuation, and it has been. He has given some really, happy words. So, we leave that for the community, for persons to digest, and we have with us in studio Miss Carla Astafan. And we, a special day is coming up on Sunday. And so we thought it best to take a little bit of this show this morning and just talk about, Mother's Day, motherhood, and to shout out to all of the mothers who would be celebrating Mother's Day this Sunday, May 14th,
Good morning.
Good
and
morning.
welcome.
Good morning, Azard and Candice.
Yes.
How are you all? Am I pronouncing your name properly?
No, and all week everybody has been giving me like different versions of my name, and it is driving me nuts.
Let me get the right thing.
It's Candisie.
Candisie.
But I tell everyone Candy so that they don't call me every other version.
Okay, my sister. I have a sister who's a Candy.
And you have a daughter that's a Candy.
Yes, a Candy, right. So, yeah.
See, so you understand the nuance.
Bunch of walking confections.
Yes. So I heard Jamster talk about reparations. Jamster, you were not given the memo?
Jamster is
No,
fervently
When you
pursuing
see
this
me,
reparations topic. Soon as he sees you, that's what he thinks.
It's a good thing to be associated with,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely. But this one is even better.
So when
She's a mom.
he saw you he thought reparation.
Yes, it's like Carla equals reparations, right?
And other things.
Not
but
too bad. We'll
We
start
will
with
have
the
that.
first one.
We'll have another show on that. Today we are talking about.
I love your necklace.
Thank you, mothering.
Yes.
Yes. And I was telling Azard just before you came, I was like, I think she has 4 kids, like based on what I actually know. He was like, really? She has 4 kids? I was like, yes. The first one I know, we were in school together.
Yeah, I know 3.
I was wondering if you all dated at all.
Oh my.
Carla,
I'll let him answer that.
Carla has brought her own tea to the station.
We were very good friends in school. He was my protector for a little bit there.
Okay.
So, yes. I
Just to
went
be
through a
clear.
little period of bullying, and So yes,
that's nice. That's nice. That's good to know.
A
He's a
protector.
wonderful son.
Or
So
maybe
yes.
knight in shining armor.
I do not add to.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
love to tell people, I've been mothering for decades now. This is, it's been, I have my first son, Omari, in my teen years, and then Jesse in my 20s, Candy in my 30s, Stara in my 40s.
Oh, so you had
Nice.
every decade you had.
There's hope for me yet.
Yes. I saw a mother post on her Facebook yesterday that someone said about, when you get to 31, having your first child. I just was like, wow. Some people wait. I have a
Thank
sister
you.
who went through her studies, she got all her education, and then proceeded to have her children. Women have choices of how they want to go about their lives.
Thank
and, didn't Janet Jackson have a child at 50?
Yes.
So there's no stopping us. Like,
I
you
am
make
so
those
happy
choices.
you said that. They can't stop dating my womb. Leave me alone.
And some mothers decide that they will adopt. Some decide to, they will not be mothers at all, but they will find, like one lady said to me, she's buying a Mother's Day. We are doing a fundraiser at the Catholic youth in our parish here in Bastille. They are planning to travel to Trinidad. So one of the fundraisers that we have is, I chose that one. I chose to donate 50 soup bowls that I'm making, small soup bowls. And I was knocking my head as to what I should put with it.
Yes.
And I was in the market this Saturday morning and I said, but look at all this fresh produce. Why not a soup bowl basket with all the ingredients,
For
the
a soup.
locally grown ingredients to make soup?
That is so nice.
So we actually have 39 orders, and I've written a little quote in each bowl, and so I'm actually going to spend the rest of the day putting that all together for deserving mothers who have ordered maybe to give gifts to their children who are mothers, and so on. So if anybody out there want to, I know it's totally different. It's
I like it.
It's not
I
fruit
really like
basket.
it.
It's not flowers. It's not perfume. It's
And you can
Tanya's,
keep the bowl after.
you have the bowl. The
And
bowl
it has
is
a
yours.
coat in
It has
it.
a coat in it.
Definitely
It's
has
a
to be yours.
handmade,
practical.
will thrown. These hands made it. And
nice.
I sat down and made all those bowls for that fundraiser at just $100. That's
My mom isn't here, but I can take it to her. So.
Yes. And I
like
will
it.
have, we can just do the bowl. We can, we can just decide. But it's going towards a good cause, right? And so that's my major thing for Mother's Day, not just,
And I
accepting.
absolutely love
but
that idea. Because, I was thinking, what can I do this year? Because mom's not here, and then she kind of always guess what we give her because the gift is okay, what does she need? She needs to relax.
Yeah.
So most of the times I'm like, all right, go to the spa. Stop doing whatever you're doing and go to the spa. Because I'm not there. Because usually I would cook up a storm. And so I love that idea.
And I love when children love the spa idea. Actually, yesterday, Jesse, my second son, treated me to a spa day.
Very nice.
So I had
Jessie.
a facial at his wife's place, Beauty Affairs. One of the people who, she has all these different women who do these different, whether it's hair or
Right.
makeup or, nails and toes. So I had a pedicure, I had a light mani, I had a facial. Yeah, so I'm
Good
looking
job,
a little
Jessie.
bit more beautiful this morning.
Good job, Jesse. And I felt like that was an easy gift, Jesse.
Yeah.
We're still looking for something on Sunday.
Oh yes, well Sunday's a whole lot, but I called it a pre-Mother's Day. So
Exactly.
I'm ready. I'm already
I
feeling
hope he knows
relaxed.
that
Yeah.
He makes sure that before she's already feeling that feeling. So on
Yes,
Sunday
yes.
she don't have to
Smart.
go through the pampering. She it could be other things.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
So
they
how
are-
do you usually spend Mother's Day?
Well, Omari's away. Sometimes he would book something for the rest of the children and myself to go somewhere. So some years we've gone to, one year we went to, what's at the end of the island? Not Kitishan Hill.
Southeast?
authors.
Oh, authors. Oh,
yeah.
you mean the other
yeah,
end.
we've gone to different people. There's carambola, you know,
Yeah.
you go somewhere to eat, relax, enjoy yourselves. So because he's not here, then he just, you know, would do that, or sometimes give me flowers or give basket. My children know I'm miserable. I'm not a flowers person, so I prefer fruit baskets. You know, so yeah, I want to eat it. For me, I get really upset when I see flowers.
Listen, I like to see them, but I always go.
I know
would
people
have
love
much preferred
flowers.
jewelry.
Yes, or jewelry, something. He's done bags. I mean,
You get upset
know.
when you see flowers? What do you mean?
Not upset in that
Not
sense.
upset,
Like I
but-
totally get what she means. It's like, yeah, they're pretty, but I think a ring would have looked much nicer and lasted longer.
Oh, you know,
I collect
the
rings.
foods could have
so-
been eaten.
Precisely.
Right.
So that's how I mean, I'm just miserable like
I
that.
totally
I would
understand
say.
you. I guess that means I'm miserable too.
Oh, maybe someone should try edible flowers, maybe.
See?
Oh,
now
okay.
you're onto something. Because they make cupcakes, like these little cupcake flower
Right.
bouquet type things. I agree. But I still like the flowers. Don't send them
I mean, I'm
empty-handed.
saying I like, but I prefer
Right.
something I can, you know, that could help my system. And that's why, I guess that's why I was motivated about the soup bowl.
Yeah. Right.
At first, when I thought about the soup bowl, there are potters around the world. They participate in these fundraisers and they do things like empty bowl. So you go to an event and you get a handmade pottery bowl and you get soup. So you're buying the soup, but it's really a fundraiser.
Right.
So they call them like an empty bowl fundraisers, right?
Very nice.
So I was playing around with the idea, but then I said, the bowl is going to be hot. People, no, let's do a whole. So we're doing a whole basket. So I'm going home. I've got all my herbs, my thyme, my peppers, and all of that to put together.
Oh, that's
nice.
imagine
Very
spending your Mother's Day celebrating other mothers.
Not too shabby, huh?
Yeah,
And
so-
Candy can cook, so I'm hoping Candy makes some soup. I hope you're listening, Candy.
Well, I hope she buys me one of my
Bowls.
Yeah.
Listen, if I were any of your kids, I would tune in this morning. Guys, this is what she wants, okay?
Yeah,
Get it
so-
right.
Yes, I'm already. But I think, as I was doing it, it was such a lesson for me. As I went through the quotes and you say, mothers are our first friends. The people have written, about mothers. I mean, mothers tell the truth even when
you don't want to hear it.
when you don't want to hear it, so it was an eye opener for me, the way mothers are looked at, like we play such an important role.
Yes, let me tell you, my mom is my best friend, and
I was reading.
I call her for every single thing.
I was reading a story yesterday on Twitter where there's this basketball player. I think he plays. Is it the Celtics? And his mom is his manager, right?
Yeah.
So they have this pact where she says, "Listen, don't touch your NBA money. Just use." He gets like $5 million per year in endorsements, right? So she said. So he consults with her before he buys anything. And because their thing is to build generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
And but what I thought was interesting, some people in the comments were like going off on the mom, like going off on him and his mom, saying, basically calling him mama's boy and calling her.
I've been called a mama's girl for years. I don't care.
But you need a mother like that.
Thank you. She's his momager, and she. The thing is, like, why is it a bad thing if you're a mama's boy? Like.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Especially
Exactly.
if she's giving you healthy, smart financial advice. I mean, there are some that go a little bit overboard, because my mom is obsessed with this show that she looks at. I think it's called 90 Days Fiancé. Oh my goodness, this show is insane. And
does she want you to do it?
No,
okay.
Thank heavens, no. She just likes to look at the show, and it's like, when the show is showing, if they go for break, you can speak to her then. While it's on, she's engrossed. And there was this one that my sisters often tease her about, because the guy was a mama's boy, and his mother didn't like anybody that the girl brought home. So those type of moms, kind of have an issue with that. But if it's healthy, sound financial advice, then what's the issue?
Yeah.
Good grief.
I mean, mothers, the role is, for those who are being good mothers, because while we're talking about the good mothers, they've also been mothers who have really made children's lives live in hell. And I have to bring that up because I've been going through on Facebook and seen some horror stories as they pop up, about children who, whether it's their mothers were using drugs or, so just some of the abuse that some mothers mete out. So they make, and as to what is going on with them mentally, to do that is just heartbreaking, that their children, a lot of, there's this whole new thing. I don't know if it's an AI that they're using, but they put these children who died very young, and they are speaking about what happened to them, basically. So it's not like, and they say, so it's very touching because you're seeing this face of a child and saying, I am this person, and they tell you all of what happened to them, and they died on whatever, so it's like...
I think I've seen something similar with other things.
So they are... And that just brought home to me, sometimes.
I'm getting goosebumps. I'm just thinking, I don't think everybody is maternal. So not because you're a woman and you can reproduce, not everybody is maternal. And that is such an unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
Like I would go to the children's home and try to do work with them and, donate and involve them in different things. And just going there, my mind races because I'm often wondering, why is this particular child here? If you know that you did not want to have a child, then why not, do the act in a different way? Use protection, right? Because it really irks me, especially if you know that this could be a possibility and it's not something you want in your life. Then they have ways and means that you can,
Well, I think there was a time when, for some people, things happen, and then that if they recognize that the best option for them is to put the child in the children's home, maybe they were, or maybe the court sees it fit.
Well, that too.
To put their children in the children's home, then at least they're cared for by people who have that sort of skill.
You have a good point there. There's some mothers that send their children out to beg and do all manner of things, and they have to bring home that money to feed everybody else that's in the house, and they're home chilling.
Now, one of the things I want to bring up is that even though at this age you may think that I have it locked, right? I don't. Okay, so that's one of mothers. It's a continual process. It's a continual growing. It's a continual. Even if I've gone through the teen years with other children, every child poses a new set of challenges. I
was just gonna ask that.
Yes,
everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody is different. So you have to. So right now, I've been going on because CXCs, I chose to have my daughter write CXCs next week. So
this is the last one.
The last one. How old is she? She's 15, but she's doing two subjects, and I'm like, why don't you get up in the morning early to study? Why don't you? Why
maybe she's
when
a night
I was
owl.
I said, and I'm on her, I'm on her and on her. A guy said to me the other day, he used to go to CFBS, and I was telling him, he said, but she's not you. And so you really have to, think, well, this is this person. She is
a person.
But then last night, was it last night? I follow this set of these teen mothers. It's women in the U.S. teen mothers site.
I know that one
and I love it because I always get some new information. And someone showed a picture of their child's room. And I'm like, wow, that looks like what my daughter's room can look like, right? And so I decided and he's saying, she's asking, what should she do about her son's room? Because it's in such a mess. Should she just leave it? Should she clean it up herself? And that sort of thing. Last year, when my daughter's room was looking like hell, I remember last year, August, just before school opened, I went in there and I cleaned up and I put everything in order. I got rid. I mean, how do children just get all this stuff piled up under the bed, under the chairs?
Happy.
No, she's happy when she comes home. But pretty soon it gets back. It's like, this is how they want it. They throw clothes on the ground, and I am like, I said, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. But last week, I went in there. I said, exams, I think you need to have fresh space. So while she was at school, I went in there again. And I just, threw it. I cleaned up again, because I'm saying, this is your space. I'm creating this corner for you. You need to sit there, and this is your corner for doing.
What was her reaction?
Well, it worked. Go in the corner. This is, you have a desk, your chair, your bed. Everything is sorted. Everything is clean. It's fresh. Go and focus, right? Because you cannot focus.
Because I'm seeing your reaction.
You cannot focus in mess. It's my thing. You cannot focus in mess. But what I was reading in the comments that really got me is, if they don't do they don't do their chores, if they don't excel academically, you can start saying no to things, because really and truly, you're only as a parent responsible for their food, their shelter, 7 sets of clothes, and 1 pair of shoes. Listen, I put that as a status one time. I put it as a status, and I called. I said, "That's for you, eh? That's for you. It will be no to birthday parties, no to the movies, no to this, no to that. So perform, please, because that's,
Did that work with any of the others? Because
I
feel like I know at least 3 of them. I don't really know Stara, but I know Candisie because she was in school with Zaria, my last sister.
Okay.
And I know Jessie because Jessie's Jessie. and so, but did you have that with any of the others? Because everybody's different.
I didn't know about this. I didn't know about what I found out yesterday. And I just say, why am I only now finding this out? 7 sets of clothes, 1 pair of shoes, and no to everything else. If you don't perform, you get the nose. Right? And I said, wow, that beats licks. That beats shouting.
Especially 7 sets of clothes. The 7 sets of clothes really rubbing me the wrong way.
One for each day.
Yes, your
this
uniform,
is not working.
a church something on Sunday, a few little things. Yeah, so, I think Omari was probably very understanding of my situation. You know what I mean?
The first one's always trying to work with you guys.
Yeah, he was very understanding. I mean, he had his challenges, a different set of challenges. But I think he buckled down. Like, I like to tell him, he had all these girlfriends. When I say girls who were friends, like Candisie say, right? And they were bright, and they were studying, and he was finding, they were roping him. Yes, he had his male friends, but he had the Cherise and, all of these girls who were very focused on their studies. And so he was with them and buckling down with them. So that I found that. And I had been telling him since you were of age, find a girlfriend, because girls are very focused and so on. And I'm just using what you just, as a mother, you just try and find things that would get your child to be the best that they can be. So somehow he found it, and when he got his results, I mean, I was blown away. I don't think I was on him like I am with Stara.
But they're naturally bright, because I remember I met him in 3rd form, because that's when I moved here. He was like very disgusting in class. The class clown. But when it came down to doing his work, he would settle down and do his work. And we were in chemistry class together, and he just had a knack for chemistry.
Precisely.
So I guess everybody has their own thing.
Yeah, and I guess as parents sometimes we really so want to get our children to succeed that we tend to want to go overboard. You know what I mean? You want them to so you do all sorts of things, or you try to push them. I remember.
Is it like a nervousness? Is it like a nervousness, like not sure if I should be going this way, that way, or let me try a little bit of everything?
You're just trying everything in the book, because at the end of the day, the world you have already gone through. And the way I put it is that we know the potholes, and you don't want your children to fall in those potholes. You understand? Yes, they will have potholes, but if you can avoid as much as possible them falling into some of these holes. You try your best. So the thing is, they have to understand that academics, it's very important. Yes, I mean, for me, he became a lawyer, and so, but I would not have minded if he became a potter. So I used to be like, okay, come with me, come. He used to help me. He would help me. I'm saying, you're good with chemistry, and that was one of the things I used with him. You seem to be a natural with chemistry. There's a whole angle in pottery which I don't even touch because I'm not no chemist.
Right.
Where you can make your own glazes and so on. That those potters who are doing that, they make their own specific glazes. I'm using pre-bought glazes, right? Pre-formulated glazes. So I used to say, you could be a master potter. Come learn, da 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 da. So, of course, it didn't bother with me, but that's fine.
But are you like one of those reality mothers, like tell them as it is? Because my mother, oh, Lord,
yes,
have mercy.
I do.
Sometimes we'd be like, couldn't you just tone that down a little bit? You know, she just comes out with it, like, let me tell y'all. I'm like, Jesus.
Yes, I tell them, listen, we used to I used to have to go to the corner to carry water. I used to have to do this, do that, that. I let them know in black and
gosh.
color. It's not, life was totally different and we survived, and you can survive because you have things way easier than we did, you know.
I think my grandmother was the opposite. So my mother decided she was not, you know, like she's very secretive and she would just tell you the bare minimum. Okay, so when you become this age, this is what's going to happen to you. And like try to describe it in some kind of, not my mother.
So guys, I have an article here. It's 5 signs that mom needs a break. It's Loop News. And it says mothers are often described as superheroes when it comes to parenting. With one kiss, they can make a boo-boo stop hurting. With one hug, they can ease your worries for a bit and shield you from the weight of the world. Mothers juggle a lot, taking care of children, the home, and other family members, and many do this while balancing a job. If you are a mom who is always on the go and has never taken a break for yourself, there are some signs you should look out for that might indicate that even a supermom needs some time to recuperate both mentally and physically from parenting. Here are the 5 signs that mom needs a break. Easily irritable, easily irritated, sorry. Becoming agitated at the drop of a pin for things that might seem small to others, but pronounced to you that suddenly you question whether you are becoming a grump. So if you're easily irritated, verbally abusive.
That's why I go to the beach. That's why I go to the beach a lot.
Beach
It's
house,
very
right?
calming,
Yes. Verbally abusive. Becoming verbally abusive, especially towards your children. Everyone loses their patience sometimes, but if you know yourself and you don't usually interact with your children in a harsh manner all the time, but have been losing your cool for everything, then it could be a sign that you need some self-care.
Okay, and on that note, we really have to wrap it up.
Let me just highlight 2 points then.
Two.
Let me just highlight the other 3 points. So we have pessimistic at all times, feelings of resentment, things no longer bring you joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you said you use the beach to combat, right?
Yeah, I love spending time at the beach. I love going walking. I think after my facial yesterday, I told the girl, you know, I used to have a lot of facials. I think I'm going to put it on my schedule. I need to put in massages. You know, you have to take time for those things. I mean, so take time to take care of yourself.
I love it. And guys, if you need any of those bowls that Carla is preparing, can you give us a number to contact you at least?
662-5545. And it's for a good cause.
5545.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We can do with 11 more bowls being sold. Thank you.
Awesome.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Later.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Same to you, Carla.
9:31. And speaking of Mother's Day, I got something here from Monarch. I don't know if you guys know there's female cricket this weekend. It continues into Sunday. I'm gonna send you guys the schedules, but the matches start today and they're free. Start at 10 a.m. and they're free to the public. So today's matches are Jamaica versus Barbados at Connery, Leeward Islands versus Guyana at Warner Park, and Trinidad and Tobago versus Windward Islands It's women, yeah, female cricket.
Yes, I am now an avid cricket person.
Okay,
so let's take a quick break. Committee, aren't you?
Oh gosh, no.
Oh,
but I was consulted.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
Fruta, taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day. Whoa, Fruta, drink the real Fruta, your favorite Fruta, the natural taste is Fruta. Fruta.
Your favorite fruit has got a new skin with real juice within. Drink the real Fruta. Enjoy the real joy.
Taste the real Fruta, enjoy the real Fruta, refreshing juice of every day is Fruta.
Fruta, juiced right.
Magnum new labor charge up, and it means that the vibes good just like you.
I your name a call up, can't you see that the hot girl just passed through?
Selector just all up, can't you see that the new look just make news?
I saw step forward, no. What you gonna do?
Magnum tonic wine, brand new look.
Same good wine.
Must be 18 or older to drink. Drink responsibly. Magnum.
Guess what time it is? It's time for Fireproof, and we've got Officer Tim here in full regalia.
Let me tell you, we are definitely taking a picture today. Medals.
I see.
Ribbons.
Jamster wanted the audience to see the uniform because he was
Badges.
pressing his for time. So, you know,
no, it's not that.
I thought the uniform that he came in was pretty impressive, but this one is off the chain. We're definitely gonna listen. And every time I put him on my status when we take those pictures, people message me. Oh, well, today's gonna be lit.
You know, I tell you, Timothy, that you need to take Candy a day as a firefighter.
I was prepared to go to the drills last week because, you know, they were doing the whole fire service week, fireman thing. And I was kind of hoping that he would have won so we could have been boasting today. But what happened, Mr. Martin?
Well, interesting question. However, we would
ease into it.
Let's ease into that part of it.
She just showed the tea at him.
Because I was like, what? What's happening here? I'll let him, you know, ease into it as he says.
So me being in uniform, our ceremonial uniform, is not just to showcase the uniform. We actually have a funeral, a military funeral that we are attending. Mr.
Ambassador Errol
Maynard.
Yes,
yes.
Condolences to the family. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So that is why I am decked out in this uniform today. So I left there, came here, and then I'll be back there again after this segment. Yeah, so we just want to look at our week of activities that we had. And the week of activities, it was from April 30th to May 6th. And the theme for that week of activities was building resilience through standardization and consistency. Okay, so just want to brush through some of the events that we partook in. So we had a church service on the 30th of April, and this was both in St. Kitts and on Nevis.
Awesome.
So in the St. Kitts end, we went to the Antioch Baptist Church, and on the Nevis end, we went to the United Pentecostal Church. Monday was pretty much a laid-back day for us. We did not have any activity on Monday. However, on Tuesday, we had Community Day. And this is where the fire services were able to interact with the differently abled community, and we were able to give several care packages to them, both on St. Kitts and Nevis as well. Now on Wednesday we had open day, and if persons were in town, they would have seen us at the Independence Square. We had a tent, we had tables with all sorts of things on those tables. We had equipment, we had uniform, anything possible that we do as a fire services, it was on display. We even had the fire truck parked at the West Independence Square Street end, where persons, they were able to go and see inside of the truck, see what the truck is like, be able to get a feel as to how it feels for the fire officers to be driving to and from an emergency car.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had on the 4th, which was International Firefighters Day, and just let me remind you that the week was surrounding that particular day, International Firefighters Day. We had a run through town, which is there to highlight solidarity throughout the fire services around the world.
Rumel isn't here today. You can tell us who won. Hopefully he's not listening.
Well, he's actually at the service right now. Yeah. So he led that procession, of course, and it was a fun time for all the officers.
Nice.
When we reached by the Baker's Corner roundabout, man, the officers they sprinted to the fire station. Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of like, this is almost over. Let's just do this.
So it is that's like where the competition starts for them. Throughout throughout town is just everybody coming together, jogging together. But from the moment they reach that intersection right there, they just take off running. Yeah.
So who won?
It wasn't about winning. It wasn't about winning.
No. This is rehearsed.
It wasn't about winning. It wasn't about winning, but it was about camaraderie and having.
So who got in? Who got into the station first?
Fast forwarding.
You know what I'm believing, right? It was Timothy, but they already coach him not to say it.
No, we had a social event that same evening, and it was a lovely event. We as officers as well as the general public, we were there to socialize, have a few drinks. Play dominoes, games, persons we were playing Ludo, just to unwind for the past week's activities. The International Day, however, I just want to remind our viewers that this stemmed about in 1999, the January 4th, 1999, and this came into being because in 1998 there was a tragedy in Australia where some officers, 5 firefighters, they lost their life trying to battle a wildfire. Yeah. So in order to commemorate the dedication that they have displayed, they introduced International Firefighters Day. So throughout the world, firefighters, they commemorate that day and, seek to remember our fallen brothers throughout the world.
Every time you tell me that story, I get goosebumps.
Oh,
yeah.
It's
a good way to remember them.
Yeah. So on Friday, we were supposed to have our drill competition. Yeah. However,
to skip work for it even.
Imagine that. But unfortunately, we did not get to host that event. However, we are still planning to put on that event. So as soon as we lock in a date, then and a venue, we would then let you guys know and let the general public know that our drills will be held on this date and where it would be held.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I
Well,
know everyone was
yes.
looking forward for that.
Let me tell you, one of the fire servicemen came to my office, I think it was like 2 days ago, and I started drilling the poor guy. I was like, what happened to the drill? I was passing in tongue. I heard it was canceled. I didn't even get that far. What's happening?
Yeah.
He was just like, it was canceled, Candy, it was canceled. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to Timothy about this.
But we're still planning to.
And you
to
guys will
have
make
the
a big
event.
announcement about it.
Of course, yes.
Good, because I'm looking forward to that. I think the one that I'm most interested in is the ladder being 90 degrees and somebody climbing it.
So that is where we have 4 officers hold that ladder upright, and then that one particular officer who is competing, they have to climb that ladder front and then go over it the back way and continue.
I feel like this is not even about the ladder. This is about trust. Like, do I trust
Yeah,
these 4 people
of course,
holding
of
this
course.
ladder to not
I mean,
tilt it?
when we go out to fight a fire, any fire, we have to bear in mind that we are our brother's keeper. So I have to trust you in order for you to back me up in any situation. Be there for me to pull me out from danger. Yeah, it's a trust thing.
I'm definitely not going on that ladder.
So
Nice.
on Saturday, 6, we had a sports day, and this was held at the Newtown playing field, and we had the general public come out as well to see us in our sporting wear and our camaraderie on that event. Now we had sporting activities like football, we had cricket. Persons played. We did lime and spoon. We had some of the sporting activities that we did as a child, and it was real fun. We had music. DJ Buzz was the one who played throughout the week for us, and he played some lovely music. I mean, persons
DJ
around.
Buzz like a fireman part?
He's
DJ part
not a fireman.
Oh,
No, he's not a fireman. But they got him to play for the events, and it was really good.
So you said that the week was a really good week. It was successful.
It was a successful week.
That's awesome.
And then you guys had an awards dinner.
Yes, an award ceremony, and this was held at the conference room of the Solid Waste, and it was a lovely space, conducive for what we wanted, and we had a number of officers being awarded. And I would just like to share with you some of the categories of the awards and who all
because I'm
were
spying some
awarded.
new metal hardware.
So for the 10 to 14 year category, and we start to recognize our officers when it comes to ceremonies like these from 10 years and up. So once you put in 10 years, we have a token for you to show our appreciation, your dedication to the service. That doesn't mean that throughout the years you would not get recognized in some form or fashion, but officially we started at 10 years.
10.
And so 10 to 14 years, we had 12 individuals who got awards. I would just like to say the FO means fire officer, the FSO means fire sub officer, and FSSO means fire substation officer. The DFO means divisional officer, and then CFO is the chief fire officer. All right. So for 10 to 14 years, we had FSO Julio Williams, FO Trevor Matthew, FO Corbin Boyles, FO Linnell Richardson, FO Amal Richards, FO Saniaka White, FO Cornell Warner, FO Javed Sobrati, FO Desmond DeLashley, FO Leandro Watley, FO Etienne Gilbert, and FO Kenroy Ward. So those persons are 10 to 14 years.
Why 14 and not 15 though?
Because we have a category for 15 to 19. So those persons that I called previously, they got a certificate. All right.
Wow.
Congratulations to those persons.
Yes, indeed. For the 15 to 19 category now, those persons, they were able to get a certificate, and they also got a bronze medal, like what you see
Oh
here.
my.
Commemorating 15 years.
What does it say? Let me see. Sir, okay. Years of service. Wow, you've been in it for 15 years?
Let me ask you, when you do ceremonially, you have to wear your medals?
Well, once you have a medal that is given to you, you should display it.
Okay.
Should display it.
They're very nice. I hope the audience can see.
Yeah. So for the 15 to 19 years, we have FSO Tito Rasman, FSO Alexis Richards, FO Dennis Morris, FO Nigel Brown, FO Chanel Bat, FO Calvis Bell, and FO Merton Charles. Now, from 20 to 24 years of service, we had individuals getting a certificate, a bronze medal, and then they were also decked with a silver medal. And the officers who got that award was acting CFO Rommel Williams, FSSO Level 2 Davron Clark, FSSO Timothy Martin, myself, FSO Roosevelt Howe, FSO Carindale Hodge, FSO Kyle Burke, FSO Marsha Pope, FSO Leroy Martin, FO Erickson Isaac, FO Travis Scotty, FO Louise Clark, FO Kenroy Warner, FO Dwayne Williams, FO Ian Henry, FO Loretta Hodge, FO McJulian Isaac, FO Cosbert Francis, and FO Ryan Blois.
Wow.
So that was 18 individuals. For 25 years of service and up, so they received a certificate, a bronze medal, a silver medal, and they also got a gold medal.
Wow.
So those persons were acting DFO Mavis Archibald, FSSO Lesroy Keynes, FSO Kenneth Dorr, FSO Glenville Dolphin, FSO Dwight Alexander, FO Von Ward, FO Cecil Grant, and FO Julian Pemberton. Now, we also had an award given to the longest step officer that we have on file, and this was given to Miss Donna Isaac. Now, additionally, we had most dedicated officers on shift. For those are persons who work shift on a day-to-day basis, and we had a total of 17 officers. So FO Amal Richards, FO Vincent Cornelius, FO Javian Smith, FO Requan Martin, FO Kyra Morris, FO Ringo Gumbs, FO Clement Hodge, FO Dion Dolphin, FO Rashad Stapleton, FO Travis Reed, FO Cortez Paris, FO Jamie Henry, FO Von Ward, FO Simba Hanley, FO Elvin Woodley, FO Dennis Morris, and Step Officer Mermaid Christmas. Now, Mermaid Christmas, she's even though she's a step officer, she while on shift she performs duty over and beyond, what her current rank is.
Right.
So we awarded her. She was able to receive that honor for most dedicated officer.
Wow.
Yes.
Congrats, guys.
So,
I'm impressed at these, award categories and the years and just the amount of individuals.
Well thought out. We had most dedicated supervisors. So the supervisors were able to receive an award, and those went to FO Dwayne Williams, FO Desmond DeLashley, FO Nigel Brown, FO Chanel Bat, FO Loretta Hodge, and FO Erickson Isaacs. We had some special awards. We had Courage to Overcome. Now, the Courage to Overcome Award recognizes officers who are faced with significant physical or health challenges after joining the service. However, they continue to display commitment and dedication to the country. So we had 2 persons that received that award, and none other than F.O. James Haynes, which is over in Nevis, and F.O. Cornell Warner, who is here in St. Kitts.
Wow.
The Fire Prevention Education Award, so we had 2 persons receiving this award, which was Acting Fire Chief Rommel Williams and also FSSO Timothy Martin.
I would think so.
Congratulations.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, for Long Service Award, and I'm soon to finish. Long Service Award, we had 2 officers who were able to receive Long Service Award. So the first one was FSO Glenville Dolphin, who had 38 years of service in the organization. And we had F.O. Julian Pemberton, who clocked in 30 years of service.
I mean, these numbers sound so big, right? Like, I know you from school, right? And I'm listening to this thing, and I'm looking at the medals. I'm like, he been in that thing for so long?
23 years for me.
Commitment,
23 years.
Yes.
Dedication.
Congrats to
Thank you
all
very much.
the recipients. Wow.
Now, one more award I want to highlight is the Extra Mile Award. And these are persons who go above and beyond the call of duty, no matter what time of day they are needed. They are there to assist. So we wanted to highlight 2 persons within the organization. And one is F.O. Linnell Richardson from the St. Kitts end, and from the Nevis end, F.O. Travis Reed. These guys, they were well deserving of the awards that they received. I want to thank our sponsors. We had a number of sponsors. In the interest of time, I won't go through all of them. However, I just want to thank our sponsors for coming on board with our week of activities. They would have given monetary contributions as well as tangible contributions. So we want to give a heartfelt thank you. I want to say to the general public, if you know any of the officers that were listed today, reach out to them, show them some appreciation. Sometimes just a word of encouragement to these officers is what we need, just to show your love and appreciation for them. I want to highlight one person in particular, though, which is Miss Yolanda Weeks. She was very instrumental in organizing our awards ceremony.
That's
that
our
we had.
Resident fire officer, right?
Yes, our
right.
honorary fire officer. She gave up her time, her effort, in terms of getting this ceremony up and running. So I want to say a heartfelt thank you to Miss Weeks for the job well done.
Wow, congrats.
Nice.
Thank you. So she's definitely earning her award for
Yes,
next year.
of course.
Thank you so much for coming in today. And I'm running through the names now. I think I know quite a number of your fire officers. From school too.
Yeah.
Yes, actually
we
from
have a
school.
bit of them from school, yeah.
Yes. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you for sharing with us.
You're most welcome.
Now, how does it feel? Is it justified? Like, listen, I put in these years. My name is now on a board. I got these awards, and they look very nice, guys. I really hope you can see his new medals.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Feels like.
Well, it feels good. When you know you have worked hard, then the recognition that is given, it gives you a sense of accomplishment that, hey, you have put in a lot into the service. And for persons to recognize you, then, it's a warming feeling.
23 years in one job.
23 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can probably only imagine them because I'm working for myself. I don't mind. I'm sure there must have been times you were like, look, I am over this.
I don't think
You've
that I have
always
had,
enjoyed it. Wow.
no matter where I was placed, and I have touched all the stations around the Federation, both in St. Kitts and Nevis in some particular way. But I enjoy what I do. I love what I do.
And you do the shift system as well?
For now, where I am, I do not do the shift system anymore. I am more of like a 8 to 4.
But you've done it before?
But I have done it, yes, for a number of years.
Good grief. That must have been hard.
Yeah.
And you still enjoyed it?
I
Talk
enjoyed
about
it.
work, doing what you're passionate about. Did you always know that this is what you wanted to do?
No. My interest, well, my interest was in technical drawing. That was my interest from school.
I think I remember seeing you with that T-square.
That was my interest. But then the college was full at the time, and I did not get into that class. So then I started to look at other things. I did electrical engineering, but then did not get in, didn't get to complete all of that. But then, it stemmed off into the electricity department, which is a dangerous job.
Yes.
And then I saw a friend of mine told me about, the fire department, and I said, I think that would be, more suits me and I did it. I got in, and here I am.
23 years now.
Wow.
That was a good friend. Some
Thank
advice.
you so much for your service,
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I would think that in any regular job, especially a government job, it's kind of taxing to be doing the same thing. But you said you were moved around quite a bit, so you got a feel for different aspects
environments,
of it and environments.
But then, when it comes to if you love helping persons, then it would come natural, because I wouldn't say it's a dull moment, because you get accident scenes, you get fires, you get to go on search and rescue missions, so it wasn't just the same thing every day.
Right.
And each fire is different, each fire is different, each accident is different, so
Okay, guys.
Wow.
Well, we
Nice.
had a very nice discussion here. We have Mother's Day coming up. It's going to be a packed weekend. And we also have another show coming on.
Hopefully a fire-free weekend. Guys,
Fire-free
be careful
weekend,
out there.
yes.
Let Timothy
That's
get some
right.
rest for the drill next week, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So,
Thank you
guys,
for tuning in to Island Tea today.
Yes, we're gonna
Thanks for having
conclude.
me.
Thank you for
No
visiting
problem.
us. Have a great weekend, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Pump it up with Quicks. One pump and you're pumping. This just done your